doing that, and I'm doing 113.
From Bolero Via Linda in Scottsdale here for the title match for today's JBT event. Just one title match because it's Mix It Up, one of our favorite formats. Like the old mixed doubles on the adult tours, the top handicap and the top scratch bowlers after qualifying formed a team. Second was second, and so on down the line. Big bonus spin match play to get to a Baker format stepladder final, and that is the handicap portion of the top-seeded duo of Thomas Lawrence and Matthew Garrett, opening up with the strike in the first. They are taking on the bowlers who crawled all the way up from the 14 seed after this qualifying, Josh Williams and Elias Luna. The handicap bowler gets half of their difference, and that's 10 pins, so Matthew and Thomas have to win by 10 to tie, 11 to win. That's where we stand. The subdivision's already wrapped up. Cesar Padilla beat Madison Holman for U17, while Madison beat Mackenzie Theophilus for girls scratch. Seen a lot of Matthew on the show this year, having a big season so far. Four-time champ. Does consolidate his partner's strike with a double right through the schnoz, and Chris Barnes advances to round 3 of the Masters, because that's how he beat Duke. Almost exactly like that, with the pin over to the 6. Both Josh and Elias have been doing good work for each other. That's how you win these Baker matches. Elias spared in his first, and he tries to roll a pin, but the 4-7 doesn't cooperate. First time at Via Linda in 14 years, Max.
14 years, wow.
Who was our last winner at Via Linda?
14.
So figure who might have been a star 14 years ago. You can get this one. It's not an esoteric thing.
King.
You got it.
Harley Spector.
Kyle King was the winner the last time we were here. Very good, Max. Well done.
So I would have said Harley.
Harley would have been a good guess.
It would have been his 22nd year.
That's right, of course. Nice job in the spare for Williams, and Luna has a chance to get the first strike of the tee. We like it because they'd have doubles teams that you'd never otherwise have get partnered up with each other. Scratch kids kind of mentor and help out the handicap kids, sometimes vice versa. And Elias. Speaking of, Elias has about 2 inches on Josh. Looks like that wasn't the case a few years ago, but Elias is sprouting up, and Josh quit when he was about 6, I think. And there you are. Thomas, I don't know as much about as the other finalists. He's a freshman at GCU from Colorado. Both the Mile High Tour up there, version of us. Nice basic compact game. Flip over and leaves the bucket that time. Similar to Matthew, that's probably a good partnership for those two to kind of line up off each other there. Really unusual. 3 of these 4 bowlers have non-power games. So often we see two-handers or just high rev rate bowlers in our title matches. Elias has the best, most hand out of the 4 of them here. On a tough pattern today, 35 feet, but a ton of volume, and the bowlers tell me that the outsides don't hook much here, no matter what you lay out, and that seemed to be the case. So when you put a short pattern on a topography that doesn't necessarily cater to short, that usually leads to low scores, and that's what we had today with the scratch cuts, 50, 60 down. 68 down, so under a 190 average to make the top 40%, more than 40% in scratch today. And that's where some of these lower rev rate, higher accuracy games do tend to thrive. Matthew, the current TPC champ, so he won on 4 hard patterns in August by keeping the ball in play, just like that. Crush is 10 back in that one for 3 strikes out of 4 for his team. But they still trail in the match, plus the pins, because Williams and Luna are clean. Talk about keeping play. Josh might have the lowest rev rate in the scratch division, but he is always a factor in these tournaments because he is extremely accurate. That's a pretty ball. He's been doing that all ladder long. I mean, that ball doesn't even turn over the first time until 50 feet down the lane. But it doesn't matter. If you can get it to face up in the 1-3 in the right spot, you can have a rev and it'll strike.
You can read the label.
That's right. Read the serial number. In contrast to that is the modern power game of Elias. No thumb. Two-handed, good balance and release. And catches another great break on the Brooklyn. That's 3 in a row for his team, and they're the ones getting those 10 pins. So big early start. Halfway through, they got about a 30-pin lead when you add it all up. Lawrence can do something about that, though, with the strike working for his team here in the 5th. Big thanks to Keon and the whole team here at Via Linda for hosting us. Jennifer for getting us in. Big 40-laner here in Scottsdale. Happy to be back. It will not be 14 years to the next visit. Yes, Bolero'd.
Bolero.
Couldn't get the double, but breaks up the 310 into a much more makeable 3. Easter eggs tomorrow. So excited to have that in Arizona. We can't remember the last time we did, or if we have. You got to be careful with the ones we place inside the machines. You got to make sure the power's off before you go hunting in there.
Lose a finger.
That's right. The world's most dangerous egg hunt. Nothing like that, of course.
You're gonna have to sign a waiver before
That's
tomorrow.
right. That's right. Hard and straight, no problem at all at the 3. You will rarely, if ever, see Matthew get down on himself, no matter what scenario he's in, and that is mental strength. That just goes such a long way at any level. This stupid chive stuff is on one of the screens here, and all it is creatures running into things. I don't care how old you are, that's funny. Perfect balance at the foul line. A little bit off in the direction. We're very lucky to not leave anything worse than a 6-pin there.
I didn't realize what you were laughing.
Oh no. Look at this kid, he can't bowl. We got final 4 directly above us and chive to the right.
Plenty of entertainment.
Everywhere you look at Bolero. Shout out to the Bolero kitchen today. They were getting food out faster than I've seen in a long time. Props to them for that. That does not always happen. Excellent spare shooter. No trouble at all, hard and straight there. 93 through 5 with that one open puts them down, 35 pins. This is the screen that Williams is working on. Some guys have asked for the scores. And screen of Matthew Thomas there. Wow. Enough to get that 5 out there. Makes a 4-bagger and a prohibitive lead now. When the handicap bowler can continue the string, that just does all sorts of damage. Really hard for the other team to stay with them. Big brother Lewis made the cut as well in the Luna family, so a successful trip out from LA with a swing and a miss there. There's where the short length of the pattern shows up. You miss an arrow left, it's not going to touch the head pin. Some days you miss an arrow left and you buck it, so it just backs up into the head pin. Not in the short.
48 feet tomorrow.
We'll see. No hints. If I say that, I'll get 28 YouTube comments. You said it with the pattern and I wasn't here. Tricky spare, but handles it just fine, yeah. $144 for 6. 31, 41 pin lead now.
Wow.
The time would just about be now for Mr. Lawrence. There's the girls' champ. Surviving a massive blood loss. Where's that hand? There we go.
Oh, my hand's so
yeah, that's
Don't look at my hand.
My goodness. Very ladylike, Madison.
All over YouTube now.
Wow, pretty ball there. That ball faced up nice. Just what Garrett ordered, to get his handicap partner to throw the strike, and that gives him an opportunity to set good things up here in the back half of this match. What is it? The last 4 frames are actually 60% of the math of the game because of the 10th frame, something like that. Plenty of time for a comeback. However, if they miss, then they only got the 9th and 10th left, and would probably rely on an error out of Josh and Elias to catch up.
4 frames. I gotta try and go back 6, 7.
What we're trying to say is key shot right here. Slices the 5-7 out. Big yes reaction, as you should, right back in this game. No, every time he's had to respond in this stepladder, Josh Williams has. Let's see if he can do it once again here in the 8th. Spare working. Still leads by 30. And he does respond again. He needed at least a high count spare in the first match, got the strike to end it. Needed to not open in the second match, struck in the 10th. And in this game, he has kept his team stringing with strikes in the 4th, 6th, and 8th to go with that second frame spare. Let's see if Luna capitalizes now, and he throws one of his best shots in flat 10s. Flat 10 stopped the only big string of the day. Jacob got him at front 10 before a flat 10 ended it. Had a little fire truck to stay on camera after that flat 10. Dealt with him accordingly. Look out, that's going to go off into the moat, and suddenly, hear those little hinges? Squeak, opening the door a little bit there.
Cracked.
It's great, it's fully cracked. So I always figure 9 spare strike the rest of the way to figure out doing the score here. So that would put him at 160. Oh, 160. Oh dear. 184 in the 9th. So now it's an 8-pin game plus the 10 they're getting. So he can make this a 2-pin lead. He can get this within a mark if he can strike here in the 9th. That's close. Oh, the 6 tilts into the 10. So can they shut out now? Let's see here, 233 to 2. Yes, all 3 would shut out by a pin. How about that? Matthew Garrett needs 3 strikes to win the tournament for him and Thomas. Anything less than that, and Josh will have a chance in the 10th. Make your spares, says Max. We start every tournament with that. Sure mattered on the pros this week. Minus 50 pro cut. I think a few 100 bowlers are kicking themselves for a whiffed spare or 2.
You were there.
Look out. Boy, it was left and it just sat there. I don't think that was his best shot. I don't think he caught all of that. And it was left, but the 2 wrongs sort of made a right there because he didn't have a ton of rotation, so it didn't grab early. End result is 10 back. They are 2 strikes away from winning it all. Good heavens. Josh and Elias will feel like these snowboarders from out of nowhere. Just whoop. So if Matthew gets this, Josh will have the double, at least, and he can shut him out with count. Not a surprise to anyone on this tour that Garrett's come up with the clutch double in the 10th. Now he still needs all 10 on the fill ball to end things. If he happens to get 9, Josh would need to strike out to tie. The tie would initiate a 1-shot roll-off, just like we always do. It'll be up to them who participates in that roll-off. Matthew can end any conversation of that with 10 more here. Right when they needed to start the comeback in the 7th, they've done it 5 in a row to get to this point. shot will tell the story. That's way wide. Wow, and it grabbed.
Oh, wow.
Well, fantastic job getting the double that gets him to 231, and that leaves the situation this. Josh Williams, 3 strikes in the 10th, gives his team 222 plus the 10 pins for a 1-pin win. So 30 pins wins, 29 pins ties, 28 or less will be an unhappy Josh Williams. He's been clutch all ladder like we talked about. He's got to do it 3 more times. That's a good ball. But not enough to get the 5 out. And Matthew and Thomas complete the comeback. My goodness. Well, Josh is going to be frustrated, but he should not hang his head at all. He and his teammate both did their work to get this far. Absolutely. They were in 14th place a couple hours ago. This, of course, means nothing to Josh right now. He's a competitor, and I wouldn't expect anybody to be happy right now. But when he looks back on it, I think he should be proud. And good for Elias, too. He hasn't had a finish that high in quite some time. Worth the trip out to Cali. Got him in the Southwest invite. Parlay that into $1,000 in June. However, if that 9 missed with a 9 slash, that strike just won. It's a tough sport we all play. Really high quality stuff from all 4 of them right there. But Garrett and Lawrence come away with the win. We'll do it all over again, Easter Bunny version, in just a few hours.